Way back when I shot Nikon, when I was in my zoom lens days, I loved my 70-200 VR. I believe I had the Mark 1 version now. My memory is not that great. Absolutely fantastic. Now I shoot Fuji professionally. I have used the 50-140, the closest equivalent, and I absolutely love it, but it's not my preferred style of shooting. But I wanted to try out some more cool stuff for the Micro Four Thirds, and Wex in Birmingham have kindly loaned me this beauty, the Panasonic 35-100 f2.8. It's the Mark II version, you know, mirrorless and the whole small thing. This thing packs a punch. This lens only weighs 357 grams. If you check out this all internal focusing from 35-100, so 70-200 f2.8 full frame equivalent. Yes, it's all, they say, high quality plastics. I think it looks the part. You do have a button on the side for the power OIS, so if you've got a relevant Panasonic body, you'll get the dual IS, which is very cool. Even with my baby GX80, I get that. You've got a manual ring here, which I think I'll mention a little bit later on. Filter thread size of 58mm, so not too bad. Minimum focusing 0.85 centimeters, not ideal, but if we pop it on my GX80, you can see it's pretty well balanced. We need to get out and check it out, so let's do that now. As with all the Micro Four Thirds gear that I've tried so far, the lens performed really well. The autofocus is snappy, and I'm sure on the newer generations of Micro Four Thirds bodies, that extra bit accurate, but for me, wasn't a problem at all in real world use. That manual focus ring, a little bit of an afterthought maybe, but again, wasn't a big problem. So is this a pro level lens? Well, it allowed you to move around a crowd shooting inconspicuously with a lot less hassle than its bigger cousins would potentially give you. I mean, look at the size of that compared to a full frame equivalent, such as what I used to use that I showed you before hanging off my shoulder. That is a massive pro to this, and it's a real, well, let's just say mirrorless benefit, going back to when mirrorless first blew up and we all felt, wow, such power, such small size, for want of a much better phrase. Yes, it's a lot of plastic, but it gets the job done. What about that all-important image quality? Well, shooting wide open, especially in the center, everything's nice and sharp. You might get a bit iffy on the edges, but for the purposes of this lens, you know, nice documentary style stuff, portraits, shouldn't be a problem at all. It does stand up very well. Now, I would recommend, as always, shooting RAW for the important stuff, and then you'll be able to squeeze out the juice out of this thing. But even in JPEG use, it performs fine. Now, distortion, it's not an issue because it's corrected. It is there if you don't let the camera correct anything, but it wasn't a big deal for me. The same with chromatic aberration, but in that case it was basically non-existent from the get-go, so that's very nice. What about the internet favorite bokeh or bokeh? Well, it's nice, it's pleasant, it's not amazing or mind-blowing. The background's rendered nice and soft, and yeah, it's appealing. It does the job, it gets it done. It's not too cold, it's not distracting at all. It's where it needs to be, let's put it that way. There you go then, it's light, discreet, f2.8 all the way through, weatherproof, it's got that power iOS, which in my case doubles up with the in-body image stabilization of my GX80. It's not that cheap, but compared to its bigger cousins, it is value for money. It is, frankly, cheaper and a lot easier to sneak into certain venues, as if you check out Micro Four Thirds, she did just that, and I must have watched that video so many times. So that's definitely a pro for this pro lens. So yeah, it might lack magic, X factor, but it will get you more opportunities to shoot than potentially the bigger cousins, the full frame and the APS-C equivalents at, let's say it again, basically a fraction of the cost. Have you used this lens? Let us know in the comments below. Subscribe and I'll see you there.